when we go live, do we just want to keep our own images up? Do we want to go to the slide?
Well, you guys are live now.
Okay. Okay, ready to broadcast?
All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for this launch of our virtual art exhibition. Before we get started, there is a transcript of tonight's presentation for our Spanish-speaking families who are turning in. This transcript is being shared now in the chat. Thank you to Mr. Antonio Feliz Gomez for his help with translating. For this event, every visual arts teacher in the district was invited to submit 4 pieces of artwork that their students created either this school year or last. As an art teacher myself, I know it is a challenge to select only 4 pieces of work because we are all blessed with students who are very talented and creative. The work you see tonight is considered some of the best. Tonight, we will share publicly for the first time all of these chosen pieces of art. Following this reception, a more permanent virtual arts gallery will be posted on the Durham Public Schools website and shared on DPS social media accounts. Congratulations, students. We are proud of you. Please note that from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m., we will be reviewing the work of elementary school students. And from 7 to 8 p.m., we will review the work of middle and high school students. We want to kick off the evening by introducing ourselves. My name is Malcolm Goff. I am the art teacher at Brogdon Middle School and have been one of the coordinators of this virtual arts exhibit. Also working on this project are...
Hi, my name is Rebecca Lemaire. I am the art teacher at Polk Elementary. I've also had the pleasure of being one of the coordinators for tonight's event. We cannot wait to show all of the outstanding work that DPS students have on display.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jack Watson, and I teach 2D visual art at Durham School of the Arts. I'm also on the team who coordinated this exhibit. We'd like to say thank you for tuning in tonight, and we hope you enjoy.
And not visible tonight, I want to mention Megan Rindox, who is helping to plan multiple Durham Public Schools district arts events this year, including this one. Megan asked me to thank all the participating schools, teachers, and students for their participation, and she's beyond inspired by everything that she's seen so far. At Durham Public Schools, we know that access to a well-rounded education must include the arts. Our educators, community, and staff work hard every day to ensure that all our students have a platform to succeed by increasing academic achievement through a whole child approach to learning and teaching. Tonight's event is a living and breathing example of the opportunities our students in Durham Public Schools are provided through arts education. We would like to introduce our Director of Arts Education, a musician himself, who is with us this evening, Mr. Jeremy Tucker.
Thank you so much, Malcolm. On behalf of Superintendent Pascal Mabinga and our Board of Education, I wanted to bring greetings and a very warm welcome. This is our very first virtual district arts event, and it is certainly an honor to have each of you and our artists with us. And we look forward to celebrating their successes and their artistic achievements this evening. Before we begin, I did want to recognize Dr. Pascal Mabinga, our superintendent. Dr. Mabinga, would you like to say hello? Thank you for
Hello, Mr. Tucker. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Durham Public Schools does believe that art is a form of creative human expression. Additionally, we know that the arts empower all of our students to respond both socially and emotionally, which is crucial now more than ever. The arts help our students to heal, help them to grow, and help them to succeed both personally and help them to engage in meaningful academic learning. Yes, even virtually. DPS teachers, staff, and the community realize that through a whole child approach to education, including the arts, our students continue to be the very best that they can be, which would make DPS the very best place to learn. A crucial key to our students having access to arts education and programs is school and district leadership. We are extremely fortunate to have school and district leaders who understand and value the importance of arts education. Our DPS principals, Assistant Superintendent of Specialized Services, who works with arts education, Dr. Debbie Pittman, our Central Service leadership, area superintendents, our directors, and other staff are here supporting our students and our teachers. Leaders, on behalf of our teachers and students, our parents, and our community members, thank you so much. Thank you for being here for our students, our parents, and our teachers this evening, and for supporting these important district-wide collaborations in the arts for our DPS students. Also, I wanted to share some exciting news with all of you. In addition to our celebration this evening, our district will offer a full menu of virtual arts events this year, highlighting our students and our teachers. DPS arts education offerings will continue to support a well-rounded education for all students with special attention to social and emotional needs of our students during this transforming year. We know our DPS students will need the arts more tomorrow than they did yesterday. And now I'd like to introduce you to our Deputy Superintendent for Durham Public Schools, Dr. Nakia Hardy. It is not every day that you have a leader who played clarinet in her middle school band and high school band and served as drum major for her marching band in high school and now serves as our Deputy Superintendent for our school district. Dr. Hardy is a strong advocate for the arts and is here this evening to share greetings with each of you. Dr. Hardy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tucker. Good evening, distinguished guests, parents, our arts partners, our teachers, school leaders, community members, and most importantly, our students. Welcome to our virtual arts reception and kickoff to our very first district-wide virtual art gallery. As Mr. Tucker said, I was talking with our teachers before we got started. I can't imagine my experience in middle school and high school without the arts. And now more than ever, it is so important to allow our youngsters an opportunity to express themselves. Durham Public Schools is one of the only school districts in North Carolina that continues to offer virtual district arts events for our students. Teachers, we are so grateful to each of you for your hard work with our young artists, and we are excited to celebrate our student successes this evening. Parents and students, please help me recognize your child's art teachers. Arts education plays an important role in priorities 1 and 2 of our Durham Public Schools strategic plan. Priority 1 is to increase academic achievement, and excellence in the arts itself is academic achievement. Priority 2 is to provide a safe school environment that supports the whole child. And the arts captures our students' imaginations, engage them in our school communities, and enrich their lives with high quality cultural experiences, and make our schools a welcoming home for each and every one of them. At this time, I would like to recognize our board members that may be here. We want to thank our board members for joining this event this evening. I also want to thank our principals. Our DPS principals continue to prioritize the arts at each of our schools. We know how important these content areas are for our children, and our principals that are present this evening, we really want to say thank you. Please join me in a round of applause and celebration to our board members for their unenduring support of the arts programming, to our principals, as well as to our teachers. At this time, it is my pleasure to turn it back over to Mr. Tucker.
Thank you, Dr. Hardy. Again, welcome to our very first virtual arts event. Tonight's experience and our virtual gallery would not be possible without the leadership of our event coordinator team, Ms. Megan Rendox, Ms. Rebecca Lemaire, Mr. Malcolm Goff, and Mr. Jack Watson. Thank you for providing this opportunity for our young artists across our district. It's now an honor for me to turn it back over to Mr. Malcolm Goff.
Thank you so much, Jeremy. We'd like to thank you two, Jeremy Tucker, Dr. Mubenga, and Dr. Hardy. We are happy that you are here with us tonight to celebrate the visual arts on a district level. Before we dive into sharing student work, I want to remind you, for those of you who tuned in late, we will be looking at elementary school art during our time tonight from 6 till 6:30, and middle and high school work from 7 to 8. There's a Spanish transcript shared in the chat for our Spanish-speaking families tuning in tonight. In tonight's presentation, we have created a slideshow for each Durham Public Schools visual arts teacher who submitted student work. Each slide will display the 4 pieces that the teacher has submitted, and you will hear a recording of the teacher introducing the student work. Make sure your volume is up. There are 2 interludes during this presentation. The first highlights former Durham Public Schools visual artists who are now out in the real world practicing their arts. The second is a tribute to our visual arts teachers who have been working tirelessly from home in this 2020 school year. We will do our best to monitor questions and comments as they come in, but please note that we may not be able to answer everything because our folks are tuning in on multiple platforms this evening. At the end of this presentation, we will share a link for you to view of this virtual gallery online. Stay tuned to the end for that too. And if you choose to comment, we would like to encourage positive and supportive vibes. Thank you to all for helping us make this a happy and celebratory event. Okay, you ready?
The first Bethesda Bulldog artist represented is Iori Santillan Castillo. He created this artwork last spring when he was asked to recreate one of his favorite book covers. The next piece is by first grader Grace Pickett. In this piece, Grace explores the primary colors as well as different types of lines. The third piece is also by one of our first graders, Elias Rodriguez. For this project, he purposely made some mistakes on his paper and then took those mistakes and turned them into a beautiful work of art, creating a beautiful oops. The final piece was created by Jaya Dickerson Butler. She created this beautiful mastering art club and was inspired by Mexican art and culture.
Burton Elementary. The first few weeks of school, we focus on self-portraits. Here on display are kindergarten first grade works. Many of the students, it's their first time ever drawing themselves. Malaya Peterson, I love the way you drew your red hair, full of personality like you. London Bullock is another kindergartner with a lot of personality. London, I love the way you drew your hat, your eyes, and your mouth. Janet Fuentes Luna. Janet, your paper is full of movement. I love your lines. I love your colors. You can feel the energy. Jocelyn Sendeas. Jocelyn is a kindergartner who loves to focus on detail. Jocelyn, I love the way you drew your eyes, your hair, and that beautiful rainbow. Thank you, artist.
Our first artwork is by Elisha Carpenter, and his city artwork was inspired by Paul Klee cities. Our second artwork is by Malachi Brown, and he was inspired by Keith Haring. Our third artwork is by Taylor Purcell, and he was also inspired by Keith Haring. And our last, but certainly not least, artwork is by Aaliyah Lyles, and it is a self-portrait.
Our first work is created by Benjamin Myers. Ben is a second grader, and he was inspired by historic cave paintings. Our second work is by Israel Basilio Castizo. Israel was inspired by nature. In his work, The Sun, he only used natural found objects. Mabel Crooks created the next piece titled Livin' the Life. She used watercolor, crayons, and a Sharpie to create this self-portrait. Florence Sanchez created our final piece. Florence was inspired by the work of Yayoi Kusama. Her piece is titled The Imagine Pumpkin.
Concentric Circles by Kimberly Vieira Bonilla, a watercolor study of geometric shapes and color. Snowscape by Ryan Sala, a mixed media piece of paper and paint exploring pattern, contrast, and perspective. Mountainscape by Emerson Moeller, a watercolor pen and ink piece of pattern, shape, and perspective. 3D Shapes by Aaron Galloway, a graphite study of geometric shapes, light, and shadow.
Hello, this is Mrs. Duffy from E.K. Poe Elementary. The first art project is by Ivan Kaiser Potter called Haunted House Pop-Up. And with this project, we were learning to use paper to create in 3 dimensions. The second project is by Esme Calkins, and this is her self-portrait, where she used line and shape to explore drawing a face realistically. The next project is by Colin Stevens, and it's called Pear. This is made out of tinfoil, and we were using everyday household items to create sculptural forms for this project. And the last project is by Yarleth Salinas Castellano, and it's called City with Designs. And in this project, we were exploring a variety of patterns and designs on paper.
This first work is by Ava Cottrell. She created a textured puppet with found objects. The second work is by Josie Sheffield. She created a radial nature assemblage using found nature objects. The third work is by Caden Williams. He created a self-portrait drawing using various media. This work is by Sarah Herring. She created a pumpkin painting on canvas.
The first work was done by Alexis Edwards. She's a kindergartner. She made her farm made out of natural tactile materials from her garden. The second piece was done by Xavi Hernandez. He's a first grader. He did metallic fruit sculpture with aluminum foil, and he did a centerpiece for his dining table. The third work was done by Samuel Blatter. He's a third grader, and he did a city made out of abstract buildings with shapes. The last piece was done by Miss Marley Saddles. She's a fifth grader, and she did her name with the different type of lines around it. Thank you, everybody. Good job. This is Marisol Perez from Inno Valley.
Eric Perez, oil pastel, The Red. Betsy Regina Antonio, Oil Pastel, The Blue Sky. Janae Nunn, Oil Pastel, The Rainbow House. Jaden Carr, Oil Pastel, The Forest.
Hi, I'm Anthony Patterson, and I started out at Durham Public Schools art shows just like you. I studied painting at UNC Greensboro, and my current project is a 3-part commission for a former colleague. It's going to be portraits of his grandfather, and it's going to look so good. I can't wait to finish it. Stay creative.
Hi everybody, my name is Sam Bordley, and I went to EK Poe Elementary School and grew up in Durham Public Schools just like you guys, and just wanted to say that I'm also working in painting, and I'm here in Florence, Italy at the moment. We're also in lockdown, and just like you, we're sort of working on different projects from home, and just wanted to encourage you guys to keep working and follow whatever your eyes and your heart want you to be making right now, because that's what we're all trying to do. Anyways, good luck.
Hi guys, I'm Asada, and just like you, I started out in Durham Public Schools art shows. And now I'm studying to be an animation director at the University of Asheville. Right now, I'm working on storyboarding stories to be made into animated movies and shorts. And I just wanted to encourage all of you guys to follow your passion. And if you do that and stay in school, you will reach all of your dreams. Stay creative.
Congratulations to Alana Pyle for creating an intriguing 3-dimensional spider on its beautiful web. Ali Hoots for exploring portraits on a continuous line drawing that's very intriguing and expressive. Theodore Ross for creating this whimsical fall leaves piece of art with a great use of color and lines. Elizabeth Marvell for creating this forest of plentiful mushrooms.
This is a self-portrait by Bella Aguilar Chavez, a 4th grader. She uses pencil and crayon on paper. In this next work by Jazir Kazim, a 5th grader, he's created a cityscape with marker on paper, emphasizing geometric shapes. Kalia Henry, a 4th grader, created a cityscape with a plane using marker on paper, emphasizing geometric shapes. In this final work, Josiah Kazim created a turkey hand using his own hand and focused on pattern in his design.
Lincoln Ryder. In this work, Lincoln was inspired by Frida Kahlo's self-portraits. He combined collage and portrait drawing to show the interest of his friend Kiefer. Alexander Long. In this work, Alexander used a variation of marks to show implied texture on his drawing of a turtle. Ethan Green. In this work, Ethan was inspired by Frank Stella's Bronca 2 in the North Carolina Museum of Art, using concentric circles in a shape-based collage with emphasis on repetition in the composition. Genevis Minor. In this work, Genevis was inspired by Franz Marc's fantasy color animal paintings. Genevis used geometric shapes to build his organic animal figure, then added fantasy color in his composition.
Nima 2. In this work, Nima explored using different kinds of line. Andrea Reyes. In this work, Andrea explored using a variety of lines to create emphasis. Jordan Carrasco Hernandez. In this work, Jordan used cut paper to experiment with arranging geometric shapes. Isabella Serrano. In this work, Isabella repeated and overlapped dots to create an all-over pattern.
Ruby Henderson. This piece is special to Ruby because it gave her more confidence in her ability to paint. Davion Coxton. Davion created this painting after learning about Jackson Pollock and his action painting technique. Leah Rodriguez Landaverde. Leah was inspired by the artist Frida Kahlo before completing her self-portrait. Carla Gonzalez Chan. Carla created this drawing while studying warm colors.
Hello, this is Rebecca Dow, the art teacher at Lakewood Elementary School, and I'm here introducing to you 4 artists who created baskets during their 4th grade year, which was last year, and it was the last project we were able to complete prior to heading home for COVID-19. So we have Keziah Pierce, Samuel Monteroso Ayala, Marisol Sears, and Tyree West. Thank you.
Andrew Watson. In this work, Andrew created a pumpkin inspired by Japanese artist Yayoi Kusama. L. Ford. In this work, Elle created a family portrait focusing on the principle of design proportion. Joshua Hess. Without picking up his marker, Joshua created this amazing owl using a continuous line. Autumn Folston. In this work, Autumn was also inspired by Yayoi. She created this amazing landscape with Yayoi's huge pumpkins.
Sadie Williford. In this work, Sadie used symmetry with line, shape, and color to make her 3D mask. Ambrose Montgomery. In this work, Ambrose used line, negative positive space, symmetry in printmaking, and facial proportion to make him in his spaceship. Evelyn Wilson. In this work, Evelyn used the elements of line and space to make her optical art. Ayushi Voss. In this work, Ayushi used radial balance with a watercolor resist to make her hand flower.
Ariana Aguilar Mora. In this work, Ariana looks to nature to create a waterfall landscape. Kaliana Cobbs. In this work, Kaliana uses lines with pen and pencil to make a bird outline. Nevaeh Reynolds. In this work, Nevaeh uses colors to create an abstract artwork. Michael Mendina Lopez. In this work, Michael uses shapes and colors to create an interesting figure.
Langston Lentz, a design with repeated shape and creative patterning. Greta Johnstone used line and color on her lizard with Australian influences. Asha Schneiderman, a mixed media work with printed houses and a colored background. Nassim Amaru drew 3 superheroes from the theme If I Can Fly.
Ariana Cisneros. In this work, Ariana utilized what she'd learned about primary colors and patterns to create a background for her cut and pasted self-portrait. Aviana Tyson. In this work, Aviana taped and glued together found objects and then painted them in order to explore the art element form. Alea Harding. In this work, Alea explored the art element's texture and shape to create her animal collage. LaQuinn Mitchell. In this work, LaQuinn studied the work of Georgia O'Keeffe and explored the art elements of color and space to create her flower painting.
Kindergartner Trenton Carter's art is focused on line, shape, and color. 3rd grade artist Charlie Gibbs used perspective, emphasis, and scale on her art piece. 5th grader Valeska Duran Herrera work is centered around perspective and focal point. 5th grader Jamian Sanders used design to show emphasis, shape, and his imagination.
June Brackenberry made this artwork during Latino Heritage Month in response to paintings by artist Candido Beto. George Norman created this artwork with inspiration taken from pop artist James Rizzi. Miles Spearman made this paper weaving inspired by the op art of Victor Vasarely. Owen King created his work on Martian Sunset during a unit on architecture and cityscapes.
Harmony Hayes, Organic Leaf Shapes. She created this 1st grade artwork while exploring art shapes in her online lesson this year. Eli Taylor, Geometric City. He created a city using geometric shapes and patterns for a 5th grade online lesson this year. Alejandro Marmolejo, Geometric City. He made this cityscape, exploring geometric shapes and patterns in a 5th grade online lesson this year. Jael Gray, Self-Portrait. She created and uploaded a self-portrait for her first online art class this year in 1st grade.
Hello, my name is Martha Murphy, and I'm the art teacher at Sandy Ridge Elementary. First off, I would like to say a big thank you to all of the people who worked to create this event and showcase the incredible art made by our awesome DPS artists. I want to take this time to recognize the 4 students representing Sandy Ridge Elementary. Yair Pena Rengo used his fantastic drawing and shading skills, along with his knowledge of texture and value, to create a close-up view of a dragon's eye. Lila White creatively combined 2 previous lessons, our value scale ice cream cone and the textured dragon eye, to make her watercolor painting, cleverly titled Dragon Ice Cream. Brian used his amazing detailed drawing skills to combine what he learned about traditional Mexican sugar skull patterns with a drawing of an owl. And Kaylin used her knowledge of shape and pattern to create a giraffe in its habitat. Congratulations, Yair, Lila, Brian, and Kaylin. I am very, very proud of you all.
This first painting is by Salem Crabtree, a second grade student. He painted monsters and creatures with watercolors. The second work of art is by a third grade student named Cole Winston. He drew Air Jordans with marker, and he wishes to be a shoe designer when he grows up. This third work of art is by Hannah Nguyen of Goldfish. She was inspired by Matisse's painting of goldfish and did this work with colored pencil. This third work of art is by Alexander Mazur in second grade. He drew circles inspired by the artist Sonia Delaunay.
Hello everyone, my name is Parminder Rajpal and I'm art specialist at Spring Valley Elementary School. And the first project is done by one of my students of fourth grade, Sarah Kellogg. And she has made a city with the shapes inspired by the artist Paul Klee. Here's Anastasia Mangum from grade 3. She makes a beautiful project by showing the fall leaves and representing the warm and cool colors. The beautiful artwork done by Maddox Nagyun of grade 1. And he has made the very colorful shapes by showing the overlapping and use of a lot of colors together. Here's the beautiful self-portrait made by Kimani Pratt of grade 1 by showing the wonderful expressions. Thank you.
Kaylin Roos did a self-portrait. Kenneth Cuellar Jimenez did art in the style of Keith Haring. Alondra Navarro Martinez did ocean fish. And Noelle White Spence did a self-portrait.
Faith Cruz. In this work, Faith explored different types of lines using colored pencils. Giselle Fonseca Rodriguez. In this work, Giselle explored portraiture and using different types of lines to create patterns, and she used colored pencils. Scarlett Cortez Hernandez. In this work, Scarlett explored different types of lines using colored pencils and markers. Scarlett Cortez Hernandez, again. In this work, she explored portraiture with a modern twist using colored pencils and markers.
Wow. Congratulations, everyone. On behalf of the entire coordinating team, we want to express how impressed we are with the level of skills seen across Durham Public Schools. You won't find that in Wake County. Following these virtual receptions, a link to a website that features all of the work seen tonight will become available. This website will be posted on Durham Public Schools social media accounts and will also be available on the Durham Public Schools website. We are also sharing the website link in the chat below. Thank you. Additionally, all student work will be on display in a projection installation in downtown Durham at the Oak House on Main Street tomorrow and Saturday night from 5 to 9 p.m. The artwork will be displayed in the window, so it can be seen from the street if you would like to remain socially distant and just walk by. The Oak House is also generously providing complimentary hot chocolate for Durham Public School students and teachers on both nights. A document with information about these projections is being placed in the chat now. Well, that's a wrap. Thanks again, teachers and students, for participation. Good night. And if you want to tune in for the middle and high school, that will be at 7 o'clock.
Thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening, Dr. Hardy. Goodbye, Dr. Hardy.
Ready? All right, good. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for this launch of our virtual art exhibit. Before we get started, there is a transcript of tonight's presentation for Spanish-speaking families who are tuning in who want that. The transcript is being shared in the chat now. Thank you to Mr. Antonio Feliz Gomez for his help with translating this. For this event, every visual arts teacher in Durham Public Schools was invited to submit 4 pieces of artwork that their students created either this year or last. As an art teacher myself, I know it's a challenging job to select only 4 because we're all blessed with so many wonderful and talented artists, and it's very hard to just pick 4. The work that you will see tonight is considered some of the very best. Tonight, we will share publicly for the first time all of those chosen pieces of art. Following this reception, a more permanent virtual arts gallery will be posted on the DPS website and shared on Durham Public Schools social media accounts. Congratulations, students. We are all proud of you. From 7 to 8 tonight, we will review the work of middle and high school students. We previously viewed the work of the elementary school students about an hour ago. We want to kick off the evening by introducing ourselves. My name is Malcolm Goff. I am the art teacher at Brogden Middle School and have been one of the coordinators of the virtual arts exhibit. Also working with me on this project are a few of my colleagues. You ready to introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Rebecca Lemaire. I teach art at Holt Elementary, and I've had the pleasure of helping to coordinate tonight's event as well. We can't wait to share all of this outstanding work with you. We are so glad you're here with us.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jack Watson, and I teach 2D visual art at Durham School of the Arts. I'm also on the team who coordinated the exhibit, and we'd like to say thank you for tuning in tonight, and we hope you enjoy.
All right, thank you. And not visible tonight, I want to mention Miss Megan Rindox, who is helping to plan multiple Durham Public Schools district arts events this year, including this one. We really appreciate your help, Megan. Let's see here. Megan asked me to thank all participating schools, teachers, and students for their participation. She is beyond inspired by everything she has seen so far. At Durham Public Schools, we know that access to a well-rounded education must include the arts. Our educators, community, and staff work hard every day to ensure that all our students have a platform to succeed by increasing academic achievement through a whole child approach to teaching and learning. Tonight's event is a living and breathing example of the opportunities our students in Durham Public Schools are provided through arts education. I would like to introduce Director of Arts Education, who is a musician himself. It really helps to have somebody who knows the arts with us this evening, Mr. Jeremy Tucker.
Thank you so much, Malcolm. On behalf of Superintendent Dr. Pascal Mavinga and our Board of Education, I bring all of you greetings and a warm welcome to this very first virtual district arts event. It's really an honor to be with all of you and to be with all of our artists and we look really forward to celebrating their successes and their artistic achievement this evening. Durham Public Schools believes that art is a form of creative expression. Additionally, we know that the arts empower all of our students to respond both socially and emotionally, which is crucial now more than ever. The arts help our students to heal, help them to grow, and help them to succeed both personally and help them to engage in meaningful academic learning, yes, even virtually. DPS teachers, students, and staff have realized that through a whole child approach to education that includes the arts, our students continue to be the very best that they can be, which makes DPS the very best place to learn. A crucial key to our students having access to arts education and programs is school and district leadership. We are extremely fortunate to have school and district leaders who understand and value the importance of arts education. Our DPS principals, the Assistant Superintendent of Specialized Services who works with arts education, Dr. Debbie Pittman, who's here with us this evening, Central Services leadership, area superintendents, directors, and other staff are here to support our students and our teachers. Leaders, on behalf of our teachers, students, parents, and community members, thank you. Thank you for being here and visible for our students and our parents and teachers this evening, and for supporting these important district-wide collaborations in the arts for our DPS students. Also, I wanted to share some exciting news with everyone out there. In addition to our celebration this evening, our district will offer a menu of virtual events this year, highlighting our students and our teachers. DPS arts education offerings will continue to support a well-rounded education experience for all students, with special attention to the social and emotional needs of our students during this transforming year. We know our DPS students will need the arts more tomorrow than they did yesterday. And now, I would like to introduce the Deputy Superintendent for Durham Public Schools, Dr. Nakia Hardy. It is not every day that you have a leader that played clarinet in her middle school and high school band and served as a drum major in her marching band in high school, and now serves as our Deputy Superintendent for our school district. Dr. Hardy is a true strong advocate for the arts and is here this evening to share greetings with each of you. Dr. Hardy.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tucker. Good evening, distinguished guests, parents, our arts partners, teachers, school leaders, community members, and most importantly, our students. Welcome to our virtual arts reception and our kickoff to our very first district-wide virtual art gallery. As I was sharing with our teachers earlier, I can't imagine my middle and high school experience without the arts. Now more than ever, it is so important that our youngsters have the opportunity to express themselves. And I am so pleased and excited for these events that we're having here in Durham Public Schools. We are one of the only districts in North Carolina that continue to offer virtual district arts events for our students. Teachers, we are so grateful to each of you for your hard work with our young artists and are excited to celebrate our students' success this evening. Parents and students, please join me in recognizing your child's arts teachers. Arts education plays an important role in priorities 1 and 2 of the Durham Public Schools strategic plan. Priority 1 is to increase academic achievement, and excellence in the arts is itself an academic achievement. Priority 2 is to provide a safe school environment that supports the whole child. And the arts capture our students' imagination, engage them in our school communities, and enrich their lives with high quality cultural experiences, and ultimately make our schools a welcoming home for each and every one of them. At this time, it is my pleasure to thank and to recognize our board members. We appreciate their truly committed support in the community and advocating for arts programming. Thank you to our board members for joining tonight. I would also like to recognize our principals. Our DPS principals continue to prioritize the arts at each of our schools. We know how important these content areas are for our students. Our principals that are present this evening, I want to thank you, and please join me in giving a round of applause to them as well. Again, thank you so much for attending this event. We wish each of you a wonderful holiday season. And at this time, I'll turn it back over to Mr. Tucker.
Thank you, Dr. Hardy. Again, welcome to our very first virtual arts event. Tonight's experience and our virtual gallery would not be possible without the leadership of our event coordinator team, Ms. Megan Rendox, Ms. Rebecca Lemaire, Mr. Malcolm Goff, and Mr. Jack Watson. Thank you for providing this opportunity for our young artists across the district. All right, Malcolm, I'm gonna hand it back over to you.
All right, thank you so much. I want to just take a sec to thank you again for Jeremy Tucker, Deborah Pittman, and Dr. Hardy. We are very happy that you're here with us tonight to celebrate these students. All right, so before we dive into sharing the student work, I want to remind you, for those of you who tuned in late, that we are looking at middle and high school students' work. And there's a Spanish transcript that will be in the chat right about now for Spanish-speaking families who want to follow along and follow it in Spanish. In tonight's presentation, we have created a slideshow for each Durham Public Schools visual art teacher who submitted student work. Each slide will display 4 pieces of work that the teacher has submitted, and you will hear a recording of the teacher introducing the student artwork. Make sure your volume's up. There are 2 interludes during the presentation. The first highlights Forum DPS Visual Arts students who are now out in the real world making and practicing their art. The second is a tribute to our visual arts teachers who have been working tirelessly from home in this really crazy 2020-21 school year. We will do our best to monitor questions and comments as they come in. But please note that we may not be able to answer everything because there are people tuning in on multiple platforms. At the end of the presentation, we will share a link for you to view the virtual art gallery online. Stay tuned to the end for that. And if you do choose to comment, we would encourage positive and supportive vibes. Thank you all for helping us to make this a happy and celebratory event. All right, are you ready to roll? Ready to see some great work?
From Brogdon Middle School, our artists are Ben Coliff. In this piece, Ben explored what life would be like in the cartoon world. We have artwork by Jordan Ramos Casillas. In this piece, he explored lighting and how it relates to his work in a self-portrait. We have Jennifer Perez. In this piece, she set up a photograph to illustrate some scenes from the Lemony Snicket's books. And Megan Herring, in this piece, she was creating a work for Inktober, and her word for the day was fish.
Cindy Ruiz Galvez. This student uses radio, symmetry, and pattern. Barry Hernandez Aguri. This student demonstrates line weight to create an optical illusion of space. Jocelyn Sarmento Gutierrez. This student uses positive and negative space and value. Horatio Hernandez Soria. This student uses positive and negative space and value.
This mask by Emma Beinog was created on firm paper with black markers that were slender, and she was pushing the idea of delicacy and rather intricate and scary imagery. Eva Sadakifu was pushing textural marks to create an argyle sweater and a fuzzy little fellow. Avenel O'Keefe used a wide range of values in pencil on her gridded drawing, which she made at Githens in 8th grade. The cats are hers. And Ethan Hong made a paper mask that he helped make more interesting by creating folds that push the sense of 3D. Thanks. All the best.
Stella Watson. In this work, Stella paints a portrait using patterns. Isai Lopez de la Cruz. In this work, Isai paints the Starry Night for his artist research paper. Eloise Egger. In this work, Eloise draws the city of Durham using colored pencils. Sadie Miller. In this work, Sadie creates a symmetry design using markers.
Hi, this is Mel Arnstein, the visual arts teacher at Lucas Middle School. I have 4 pieces to present to you today. The first one is by a 6th grader by the name of Camila Zarate Morea. It is called Pumpkins, and she studied the element of texture to create this fabulous, shiny, smooth texture you see on these pumpkins. The second piece is by another 6th grader named Ava Lamar, who studied line, shapes, forms, and space, and created this line drawing with cubes. The third piece is by a 7th grader named Dejay Bagley Horton. It's a fall scene where she studied the element of texture and incorporated both implied and actual textures in her piece to make it really exciting. The fourth piece is by another 7th grader named Bryant Sanchez Arellano. It's called Cube Storm, and he puts a lot of creativity into this work. I'm really proud of their pieces and excited to share them with you today.
Jacina Nickers created her own characters based off her favorite TV show in the exploration of figure drawing. Josue Osorio designed his own city using one-point perspective. Alana Rodman demonstrates the use of depth in this landscape drawing. Mariah Boyd designed her own sketchbook cover in a very expressive way.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth Wright. I'm the art teacher at Rogers for Middle School. I would like to recognize 4 students whose work are on display. The first is 7th grade student Emma Stoft. Her drawing entitled My Saving Grace Experience honors Andy Warhol and her experience in fostering over 35 dogs. The second student, an 8th grader named Tessa Wen. Her piece is entitled Purple Euphoria and is a monochromatic watercolor drawing. The third student is Addison Gilmore, also an 8th grader at Rogers Her. Her piece entitled Mountain Rising is an exploration of acrylic paint with landscape. And finally, Mallory Price, another 8th grader at Rogers Her. Her digital drawing is entitled Halloween Eve.
This first piece is titled Say Their Name by Brooklyn Banks and has to do with the Black Lives Matter movement. The second piece is called Swing Alone by Emily Castillo, and it is a watercolor painting. The third piece is called Sunset Park, and this is also done by Brooklyn Banks. And it is color pencil on paper. And the last piece is all called Night Owl. And this piece is by Beyonce Morales Campos. And it is watercolor and color pencil on paper.
Hi, I'm Anthony Patterson, and I started out at Durham Public Schools art shows just like you. I studied painting at UNC Greensboro, and my current project is a 3-part commission for a former colleague. It's going to be portraits of his grandfather, and it's going to look so good. I can't wait to finish it. Stay creative.
Hi everybody, my name is Sam Bordley and I went to EK Poe Elementary School and grew up in Durham Public Schools just like you guys, and just want to say that I'm also working in painting and I'm here in Florence, Italy at the moment. We're also in lockdown and just like you, we're sort of working on different projects from home, and just wanted to encourage you guys to keep working and follow whatever your eyes and your heart wants you to be making right now, because that's what we're all trying to do. Anyways, good luck.
Hi guys, I'm Asada, and just like you, I started out in Durham Public Schools art shows. And now I'm studying to be an animation director at the University of Asheville. Right now, I'm working on storyboarding stories to be made into animated movies and shorts. And I just wanted to encourage all of you guys to follow your passion. And if you do that and stay in school, you will reach all of your dreams. Stay creative.
The following pieces of work, the students studied various mosaic artists. They then created their own digital mosaic using Google Draw. Zainab Shackelford. In this piece, Zainab focused on a butterfly. The unique shapes in the wings of a butterfly reminded her of a mosaic. Elizabeth Healy. This project was assigned around Halloween, so Elizabeth decided to create a witch flying in front of the moon. Chase Russell. Chase has always loved East Asian artwork, specifically Japanese artwork. So he was inspired by the famous artwork titled The Great Wave of Kanagawa. Juan Sanchez Yanez. This piece, Juan decided to create a mosaic soccer ball because soccer is his favorite sport.
Ella Bartlett is a Photo One student who is exploring the element of color. Here we have a photograph that is a complementary set of blue and orange. Nicole Yap is an AP student who is investigating the meaning of the word barong. In Filipino culture, it represents elegance, community, brotherhood, and pride of the nation. Shelby Page is looking at things suspended in liquid based off of the artist Andreas Serrano. Here we have some gummy bears. And Kimberly Negrete Garcia is looking at what happens when you put color and light and ice cubes together.
Kai Daniels. In this work, Kai showcased dynamic composition with his unique still life arrangement. Layla Guza. In this piece, Layla used the art of cleanup to inspire her photographic sequence. Brenda Santiago Hernandez. Brenda captured multiple types of lines found in her surroundings. Logan Rosati. In this piece, Logan highlights asymmetrical compositional choices.
Hello, I'm Patrick Heitzman from DSA. My four students representing DSA are Andrew Wynn. Andrew used perspective and spatial relationships with intuitive color in his nautical rendering. Eleanor Cole. Eleanor used perspective, value, color, and atmospheric progression in her pine forest painting. Andrew Totten used proportion, value, and texture in his dog kiss oil pastel rendering. And Violet Dwyer used value and intensity in this watercolor still life.
Seventh grader Anaya Satterfield has used various materials found at home to create this rendition of a koala bear. Eighth grader Vivian Hubble has used various collage materials to create this rendition of her long summer under COVID-19. Ninth grader Nyla Daniels has used pen and ink to create this rendition of a patterned chameleon. 11th grader Gabe Cortina has used gelatin to create this brain that is filled with objects that represent him in this self-portrait.
Keb Seals. In this work, Keb explored the elements of art and principles of design to create a pentagon dodecahedron. Kabir Sulta. In this work, Kabir used a variety of expressive and constructive lines along with watercolor techniques. Dahlia Lois. In this work, Dahlia created a paper letter sculpture to shade her shadow word. Stephanie Hughes. In this work, Stephanie emphasized each element of art.
The 4 works I have chosen to share are from our Vibrant Faces watercolor unit. The first portrait is by Giselle Mosqueda. Giselle focused on using a complementary color palette to recreate a stock image. The next one is from Molly Glenke. It is entitled Harrison. It is an analogous portrait of her cousin. Next, we have another beautiful analogous portrait by Scarlett Dorman. It is entitled Distance. It is a portrait of her friend playing the ukulele over FaceTime. Our last portrait is entitled Jack. It is a pet portrait by Mars Hartman.
Zoe McDonald. Zoe's landscape incorporates several different ways artists show the illusion of space. Asia Santiago. Asia's self-portrait with attributes explores what items in her daily life help define her. Avenel O'Keefe. Avenel was asked to show extreme architecture in 1- and 2-point perspective. Owen Ambrose. In this drawing, Owen is exploring form and value through the simple still life.
Hello, I'm Jack Watson, and I'm a teacher at Durham School of the Arts, and I teach in the high school 2D pathway. The first work we have on display is by Ava Downs, and it's from a unit about home. She chose personal objects and placed them in a space where she feels most at home. In the second work, Erin Ramirez is also exploring identity through personal objects that she chose. And this work was drawn from observation with black and white charcoal. In the third piece, we have an acrylic painting by Lauren Pippin, who's a student in AP Studio Art. She's exploring her relationship to her Korean heritage. And finally, Mia Bolognese is another student in AP Studio Art, and she created this mixed media work to investigate her inherited family stories. Thanks so much for looking.
The first piece is by Isabella Sarmiento. This is a landscape paint-over of a mountainous scene with a lift to get through the treacherous terrain. This is done in Pixlr Photo Editor with the liquify painting tool. So it ends up looking like an oil painting. The second piece is by Kyla Johnson Richardson. This is a word cloud done by hand, showing some of the concerns and descriptions of the COVID-19 experience. We also did some online mapping to get to this point for this project. The third piece is by Jessie Bird Earls. This is her amazing home sanctuary with various objects and toys in the yard. This is done in Pixlr Photo Editor as well, which is why it looks like an oil painting. Again, we used the liquify tool. And the fourth piece is Julian Lorenzo Ramos's greetings banner, where he's experimenting with several of the different tools within Pixlr Photo Editor and just giving a greeting to the world out there.
Freshman student Joshua Fabian Lopez and his photograph from a series titled A Day in My Life. Freshman student Kexi Maya Martinez and her photo cubism artwork depicting a meaningful space, titled Labyrinth with No Entry. Sophomore student Alicia Davis and her photograph titled Building Up from her Elements and Principles book series. Senior student Deja Cooper and her photo cubism portrait, untitled.
Victoria Dunstan, Spotlit Dive, Color Pencil, Digital Manipulation. Victoria Dunstan, We Lose Together, Color Pencil, Digital Manipulation. Both of these pieces explore what it's like to grow up as a performer, both emotionally and physically. Hayden Poe, Embrace, Digital Drawing, Photoshop. This piece explores the relationship between predator and prey who found comfort in one another moments before death during a flood. Griselda Pina Candelario, Untitled Work, Color Pencil, Graphite Pencil. This piece explores what it was like to grow up in Mexico and leave for the US, as well as the relationships between different generations in her family.
The first work is by Bryce Lanigan, Jr. at Jordan High School, with his creative and unusual type of photography. The second artwork is Jessica Pigeon, Jr. at Jordan High School, also with a creative and unusual photo shoot that was combined together through the two students, Bryce and Jessica, along with help with another student, Reed. The third photograph is by Tori Klein, a sophomore at Jordan High School, with her use of expression and movement in a Photoshop combined project. The last photograph by Pa Yi, a junior at Jordan High School, with use of slow shutter speed and dramatic lighting.
Elijah Brody. This piece explores how video games change over time. Frida Eleman. This piece explores different kinds of love. Yamilet Marin Sanchez. This piece uses organic shapes to create a radial design. Jasmine Leon Rodriguez. This piece is a personal expression of a more traditional color wheel.
Dylan Dewar exhibits line, shape, and pattern in this beautiful colored pencil portrait. Lauren Henderson exhibits line, shape, and pattern in her colored pencil portrait. Harry Aruju Arguda exhibits
two-point perspective in the surrealism style. And Jason McKee exhibits a digital illustration.
Brianna Chavez Robles. Brianna created a collage about the pandemic using cutouts and colored pencils. Ava Kilgore. Ava created a collage about Ruth Banner Ginsburg using pencil and markers. Jennifer Santamaria Camacho. Jennifer created a collage about the pandemic using colored pencils and cutouts. Leslie Guerrero. Leslie created an art design using a Sharpie marker.
Next, we have Southern School of Energy and Sustainability, where Ms. Shantae Stewart is the art instructor. The first piece we're going to see is done by student Jenny. She has channeled her Frida, however used computer graphics to do so. The second and third piece we have is done by Angie and Mr. Terrence. They studied Wasley Kadinsky in beginning art, and they both have motion pictures with their photographs. Last but not least, Miss Eileen also studied Miss Frida, where she used computer graphics as well.
Wow. I don't know about you guys. I'm sitting here in my studio. I'm getting ready to go and do some art. I'm so inspired. Congratulations to everyone. And thank you again for everyone who has been involved with this, student artists, their families, teachers, administrators, and community support. Thank you to the former students who submitted some videos for us. I hope that that inspired you guys as well. Anthony Patterson, Sam Bordley, and Asada Goff. And from everyone on behalf of our entire coordinating team for this event, we want to express how impressed we are with the level of skill seen across Durham Public Schools. For these virtual receptions, a link to a website that features all of the work seen tonight will be available. This website will be posted on the Durham Public Schools social media accounts as well as the DPS website. We are also sharing the website in the chat below, right? Okay, thank you. Additionally, all student work will be on display in a projection tomorrow and Saturday at the Oak House on Main Street, downtown Durham, from 5 to 9 p.m. It's going to be displayed in the window so you can see it from the outside. And if you want to remain socially distant and view it from the outside, that's how it was designed to be. You're welcome to do that. You can just walk by, maybe even drive by and see it. And you can also go in though to the Oak House if you want to. They are generously providing some complimentary hot chocolate for Durham Public Schools students and teachers both nights. A document with information about these projections is being placed also in the chat now. Thank you, thank you. And that's a wrap. Does anybody else want to say anything else to wrap up?
Just wanted to thank everybody for tuning in and being with us tonight.
Thank you so much, everybody.
All right, stay creative.